this is Ian Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio. Lots coming up on the show this morning. Oh, when I do that, does it affect your headphones as well?
Really loud.
Does that do your headphones?
Yeah.
I never knew that. Thank you. I've often wondered why guests have stormed out in disgust while I've been doing that. Lots coming up on the show this morning, including local MP Dominic Grieve is in hot water over his corruption comments, saying it should be made clear that a favour culture is unacceptable in Britain. Well, hang on a second. Surely a favour culture is what makes Britain great. You scratch my back, I'll give you a lift to work and look after your kids. Where have favours benefited you and your life? Tufty, the Green Cross Code Man and Alvin Stardust, we need to bring them back. We've totally forgotten how to cross the road and prefer to play the human version of Frogger than to stop, look and listen. And sat-navs are better than maps. The end. Facebook.com/BBC3CR. You can send me a text 81333. Start your text 3CR. Or you could give me a phone call 08459 455 555.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Now, a leading Luton Muslim says the Attorney-General was right to suggest that corruption is endemic in some ethnic minority communities. Akbar Khan, who chairs the community cohesion group Building Bridges, says that Dominic Grieve, who's also the Tory MP for Beaconsfield, was wrong to back off from comments which, by his own admission, were aimed mostly at Pakistanis. Well, Catherine Boyle has been watching the story of the weekend. Catherine, what did Mr Grieve say?
Well, he told the Daily Telegraph that the corruption problem was growing because some communities are made up of those who, and this is his words, come from backgrounds where corruption is endemic. And he said it must be made absolutely clear that a favour culture is unacceptable in Britain. Mr Grieve also told the Telegraph he'd be wary of saying it was just a Pakistani problem, pointing out that corruption was found in the white Anglo-Saxon community too. But when pressed, he admitted he was referring mainly to the Pakistani community.
It was interesting because he did seem to single out the Pakistanis, and he then said it's certainly not the Indian culture. So he kind of swept them to one side. It's an incredible article in the paper at the weekend. That didn't go down well with some people, did it?
No, perhaps unsurprisingly, his comments were described as offensive and divisive by some members of the South Asian community, as well as a number of MPs, some of whom were from his own party, most notably perhaps the Conservative Party chairman and Welwyn Hatfield MP, Grant Shapps.
There's quite a lot else going on in Hatfield, including some pretty big construction work right now, so some of the Portus money will come in after that.
Well, I don't think
that's clearly not what he was trying to say at that point.
Not what he was talking about at that point, was it? No, naughty Grant Shapps.
We'll get you the right clip as soon as we can. Others from the Pakistani community have gone further than Grant Shapps did for their condemnation of Mr Grieve, which is what you should have heard. Wahid Akbar, who's a British Pakistani Labour councillor in Luton, he's calling on David Cameron to ask the Beaconsfield MP to resign.
So Mr Grieve, he's now apologised, but now some people are angry, saying that he shouldn't have apologised, that he was right.
That's right. In a statement, the MP said the Pakistani community has enriched his country and he was sorry for any offence caused. But Akbar Khan, who we'll be speaking to in the course of the programme, he's the chairman of Building Bridges, an organisation based in Luton aimed at community cohesion. He says that corruption is a problem for the Pakistani community. It should be addressed, and he believes that Mr Grieve was right to raise the issue, and he's disappointed he seems to have backtracked.
I think he has raised a very important issue which has been around for some time, and somehow political correctness have hindered its discussion. And I would hope that Dominic Grieve will run with this argument, because it's an issue which is affecting particularly the younger generation of Muslims in this society.
Catherine, thank you very much for that. Later on I'll be debating this issue with two members of the Pakistani community who have opposing views about Mr Grieve's comments. 08459 455 555. So, Dominic Grieve says that there is corruption within the Pakistani community, and then he kind of backs down and says, no, hang on a minute, I'm sorry, guys. Should he have backed down? Was he right to have said that? I worked in Pakistan for 3 months. Boy, oh boy, did I see a lot of corruption from some very high-up officials. 08459 455 555 is the telephone number. I'm keen to get your thoughts and your views on this, please. Should he have said it in the first place? Should he have backed down in the second place? Also, which are best, sat-navs or maps? I know, quantum leaps, bear with me, it's a Monday. Surely anybody still using... We've done this, we've mentioned this on the show before. It's the front page of some of the newspapers today. Anybody still using a map? on earth is your problem? You get computers that tell you which way to go. You don't have to plan your journey in advance like my dad did in 1977 and then still get lost. 08459 455 555. Morning, this is Ian Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio. Did you download last week's podcast? Oh, it's a corker. You can get it by going to iTunes and typing in Ian Lee, IAIN.LEE. Don't need a dot on the iTunes, that's ridiculous. Or you can just go to the BBC Three Counties page and click on podcast, and it's there. Coming up, we'll be talking about sat-navs versus maps. It pops up every once in a while, this story, and I cannot believe there are people that still prefer to use paper maps. I was in whose car was I in the other day? And they had a load of maps in their car. Motorists still prefer printed maps to satellite navigation, is the Daily Telegraph. Most motorists still prefer printed maps to satellite navigation when planning journeys. Who plans a journey? You might Google it, do the Google Maps to see how long it's going to take. Oh, that's going to take an hour and a half. OK, right. Well, I'll probably leave 10 minutes early. OK, fine, covered. But no one sits down with a book of maps and goes through it, do they? No, this is nonsense. Older drivers are the least happy with satellite navigation systems. Here we go. With only 9% of over 65s ditching printed maps altogether. No, I don't believe that. I think that's nonsense. We won't find, and I think we struggled before, we won't find anybody who prefers paper maps over electronic satellite navigational systems. We won't. It won't happen. 08459 455 555. Do you know, and I'm going to use this term, and I mean it, a freak that still uses a map? Anybody? No. Even when you go hiking. Even when you go for, like, country walks, you take a little sat-nav with you. You don't take a map. 08459 455 555. It's 6:15. It's BBC Three Counties Radio. There we go. There we go. Boom. It's a month to go, dear listeners. A month to go. How exciting is that? I'll have no naysayers on here. Naysaying is what I say. What? You can give us a call if you want to celebrate the magic of Christmas. It's a month. I'm properly excited. I haven't done any shop. I've bought one present. I bought my present for my mum. I need to sort out... I've got no idea what to get anyone else. Are you excited in their team? Christmas excitement?
I'm so excited.
I'm so very, very, very happy.
I bought your present.
Excited.
You bought us a present, Catherine?
I bought your present.
What have you bought?
I'm not telling you.
Well, how much did you spend?
Loads. I'm not going to tell you, and if you're naughty, you won't get it.
Well, you need to give me a ballpark figure. This is the first time you've been producing this show at a Christmas.
Yes.
So I need a ballpark figure of...
It's more emotional cash I've invested, to be honest.
In that case... I know
I'm going to get you, Kelly Betts.
Do you?
Yeah, I know.
Do you remember last year when Ian bought us all presents and no one got him anything?
Whoa, I did get him something. I got him a Neil Diamond CD that I've been keeping for him.
You didn't. You went through the CDs that had been sent in that no one wanted and you gave it to me. I think you wrapped it in like printer paper.
No, I'd been keeping it. I didn't realise I'd been keeping it for you.
I got everyone really good presents last year. And you're right, nobody got me anything. Oh.
Do you remember what you got me?
Remind the listener.
You got me Citizen Khan.
On DVD?
On DVD.
Yeah, great present.
It's a treat.
Great present.
It was a good present.
Have you watched them all?
Yeah.
Which was your favourite episode?
Episode 1.
What happens in that one, remind me?
When you all meet the characters.
08459 455 555. Now, it seems we've forgotten how to cross the road. Stuff like this annoys me, because I'm constantly teaching my little boy how to cross. He knows the Green Cross Code. And safety charities are calling for the return of the Green Cross Code Man, Tufty the Squirrel. Some are even calling for the return of Alvin Stardust. That's how desperate things have got. It comes after yet another accident on the A505 in Luton, a stretch of road where people constantly ignore pedestrian crossings and underpasses, preferring instead to run the gauntlet. Well, Kevin Clinton is the head of road safety at the Royal Society for the Prevention of Accidents.
We'd certainly like to see more road safety publicity adverts on television. They've all but disappeared since all of the spending cuts started in 2010. The Green Cross Code and pedestrian training hasn't gone away. Many schools now do pedestrian training where they take children out onto the roads and train them how to spot how to work out what's a safe place and how to get across the road. So those things haven't disappeared. disappeared, but the kind of mass publicity has very much reduced.
You don't need the mass publicity, and it's not the school's responsibility. Parents, you cross the road with your kids, right? Well, when you're doing it, show them how to do it properly. Take them to a pelican crossing. Take them to a zebra crossing. Tell them to stop just behind the curb. Wait, look and listen, and then walk when it's clear. Mr. Clinton does go on to say he does have sympathy. Oh, no, sorry, Mr. Clinton says the main cause of accidents is motorists going too fast. He welcomes the move by many local authorities to reduce the speed limit to 20 miles per hour in town centres and built-up areas.
Overall, probably drivers going too fast for the conditions is a bigger cause. I think one of the main things, and we're certainly seeing this happen more and more now, is local authorities introducing 20-mile-an-hour speed limits in areas, particularly in residential areas and roads like shopping areas and so on, where there are lots of pedestrians about. So slowing down the traffic speed is probably one of the most important things you can do to protect pedestrians.
However, Mr. Clinton does have sympathy for drivers if pedestrians are being irresponsible when they cross the road.
And I do sympathise with drivers who will naturally get very frustrated if when they hear about pedestrians who climb over guardrails and then rush across a dual carriageway, and that does make it harder to say to drivers, you need to be responsible and watch your speed if they hear about pedestrians misbehaving in that way. But statistically, one of the best things you can do to protect pedestrians is where they're about in towns and cities and residential areas is to keep the traffic speeds low.
Yeah, but this really annoys me, right? If you're I saw this at the weekend. I was at a zebra crossing, passing a zebra crossing in my car, and 10 feet away, there was a family trying to cross the road. Walk the 10 feet to the zebra crossing, you muppets! Or another thing you see, mums. When they want to cross the road, their way of slowing down the traffic to warn the traffic that they want to cross the road is to push the front wheels of the buggy out into the road. Oh, it annoys me. It's not the school's responsibility. It's not society. It's not even Alvin Stardust's responsibility. It's parents' responsibility. Teach your kids the Green Cross Code. I'm angry, Justin.
Morning, boss.
I am angry because people are dying unnecessarily because they're not taught from the right age how to cross the flipping road.
No, do you know what? You're absolutely spot on. I'm by the A505 in Luton as we speak. Now, this road is a 30 miles per hour road, but Ian, you know this road. People don't travel at 30 miles per hour. I saw some shocking things over the weekend. I saw two parents with their children in pushchairs running the gauntlet on this road.
Mate.
Now, when I tried to speak to them, unfortunately, they couldn't speak English, but there's one example for you. I also saw 3 children, and it was terrifying to watch this. They had an underpass literally a few yards to their right-hand side. To their left-hand side, there were traffic lights, and again, those 3 children, under the age of 10, running the gauntlet. 2 of them got across, first of all. 1 was left behind. I couldn't do anything at that point. It was absolutely horrific to watch. So if you're basing examples on what I just said, clearly, as a nation, we need to improve on our road safety, don't we?
Right, what we want, I want a responsible parent to call up now and teach all the irresponsible parents listening to this. They'll probably be listening to Heart, but you never know, we might catch them. All the irresponsible parents how to teach their children to cross the road. It's simple. It takes a while. You've got to do it a few times, but they get it eventually. My boy knows the Green Cross Code. He's got to be reminded every now and then. Sometimes he goes to run out, and you go, can you remind me how you do the Green Cross Code? And he'll do it. Can we get a responsible parent on the phone this morning who can teach the idiot parents how to cross the road properly? Please, 08459 455 555.
From what I saw over the weekend, you would struggle to find one of those parents, because we had another parent who said, well, I'm doing it because, my kids can't see me, can they? You'll hear that after 7 this morning.
Goodness. Now, listen, the motoring stories are plenty this morning, Justin.
Yeah.
There's a great story that you pointed out to me. What are you doing reading the Daily Telegraph?
You know, it's a new me.
I know. Front page, motorists still prefer printed maps to satellite navigation. I cannot believe that for a second.
Why would you prefer a printed map? It's like saying that you don't like mobile phones. You prefer a phone that doesn't go with you. It's ridiculous. You know, when it comes to printed maps, I can't read them. I put my hands up on that one. But a sat-nav, yes, OK, you hear the odd horror story.
You can't read a map?
Not really, no. I don't want to. I don't need to, do I?
Well, just because you don't need to doesn't mean you should lose the knowledge of how to do it. Just in case, when everything, when someone hits that big red button and we're all reduced to quivering bits of dust and satellite technology doesn't work, you might need a map then. I'm not saying get rid of maps completely.
I mean, I could get get by. I could get by on one, but for me, it's sat-nav all the way. You type it in, and as I say, you hear the odd horror story, but 9 times out of 10 it gets you there, and it gets you there quickly without the hassle, Ian.
Can you see if you can find anybody who still prefers and uses maps over sat-navs, please?
It's going to be a struggle, but I shall certainly try for
Justin Daly, thank you very much indeed. 08459 455 555 if you want to have your say on either of those stories. Here's a song, hey?
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Ian Lee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Morning. 08459 455 555. Catherine and I
Yes.
will be doing the newspapers, and when I say doing, I mean reading them in about 2.5 minutes.
Okay.
We're going to listen to the Hollies.
Oh, yes.
And then we're going to do them, read them, the newspapers. So if you want to take part, now would be an excellent time. You don't even need the newspapers there. We will guide you through them, and you can help us. 08459 455 555. Oh, I'm hoping to get the Graham Nash autobiography for Christmas. Oh, should be cracking.
Hint, hint.
Morning. It's time to look at the papers if you want to take part. 08459 455 555. First things first, Catherine.
Yes.
Doctor Who.
Yeah.
It was good, wasn't it? You now stop playing coy. Hard to get. I know you watched some of it.
I watched the last 5 minutes.
Spoiler alert: when Tom Baker pops up, wasn't that great?
He's lovely, isn't he? I've got a soft spot for Tom Baker.
He goes, He's very funny.
He's being the curator.
I thought Doctor Who was much, much better than I was expecting. I thought it was wonderful. I thought John Hurt as the missing link of Doctors was incredible. Oh, I was so excited. I like it when there is more than one TARDIS. And then all of the Doctors flew in at the end as well. And 12 Doctors. I need more than 12. Get me 13. Then Peter Capaldi flies in as the... Oh,
I missed that bit.
It was
I didn't see that bit.
wonderful.
I might watch it.
Oh, it was so good. It was just great. I was so happy with it. I had the whole house to myself. The kids were asleep. Got them to sleep early. Put a bit of Calpol in their milk. Quite a lot.
That's wrong.
It's wrong, but I don't do it. I only do it...
and only joking.
I'm only joking, and I only do it at weekends, OK? Fridays, Saturdays, and indeed Sundays. Thursdays are part of the weekend as well, aren't they, technically? My wife was out, and it was wonderful, and I sat down, I had a big plate of cauliflower cheese.
Oh.
There's a weird food, isn't it?
Yes.
Cauliflower cheese. Ingredients, cauliflower and cheese. Is that a meal?
Is it healthy? Because cauliflower, good.
Chelsea? Cheese, bad. It's a strange meal. I know, I've eaten a lot of it this weekend. We had a big bowl of it.
Do you add anything to it, or is it just cheese and cauliflower? Do you put a bit of pepper on?
I don't know. Why would you do that?
Make it taste or something?
That would involve going to... I don't even heat it up.
Oh.
I don't even... It's a strange food, though, isn't it? Can you imagine the first person went, we've got some cauliflower, we've got some... Let's put them together, let's try it. It might work. Oh, it's delicious. It's delicious.
But isn't it a side dish? It's not a dish in its own right, surely.
Well, it was a main course for me 3 nights this weekend.
Oh, good grief.
Sometimes hot, sometimes cold. What have you got in the papers? You've got a big one spread open.
Lots of things. Esther Ranson, you know she did the Childline thing when we were children.
Yeah.
And it's been hugely successful.
800 double one. Was that the song for it?
Wasn't that going live?
Oh, no, you're right, actually. That was the... yes.
0181 811 8181. That was going live.
Do you remember the phone number? What was the phone number for Swap Shop? 01...
Oh, I don't know.
743 1000. I think it was, because anyway.
Anyway, Esther Ranson's Childline, hugely successful, not thanks to our publicity there.
No.
But she's opened one for older people.
Oh, really?
Called Silverline.
Oh,
didn't you know this?
No, I did not.
This is what the Daily Telegraph says about that. Loneliness is a fact of everyday life for at least 2.5 million older people in Britain, a study's found. But the figure, equivalent to 1 in 7 older people, could be the tip of the iceberg because of the stigma some people feel about admitting they're lonely. This research was carried out for the Silverline, the new 24-hour telephone service for older people set up by Esther Ranson. 27 years after she founded Childline. It's being launched across the UK today after a trial phase in which it took around 7,000 calls in 2 regions of England.
Well, there's obviously a demand for it then.
Of course.
And well done to her. Sad we have to have something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really? But permission to speak freely.
Speak.
Some old people don't do themselves any favours.
Oh.
No, some don't. And I know that there is a big issue with loneliness, but some older people, they do put up barriers, don't they, that kind of send people away, that send out the vibe, I don't want any company.
There is a big issue of pride, and it must be very hard to admit that you actually need somebody after all this time.
It could be worse for old people. They could be bursting out of cakes like Mary Berry did. Now, I'm not really sure. Mary Berry is the Great British Bake Off, a programme I've only seen clips of, and I've only watched seconds of it because I like Mel. Do I like Mel or do I like Sue? I like Mel. I like Mel. Mel's nice. I like both of them. They're nice. I've worked with them. They're lovely. But I like Mel. I'm glad she's on telly. But the concept of a programme where they just make posh cakes doesn't work for me. Anyway, Mary Berry was in Strictly Come Dancing this weekend, bursting out of a cake. That's front page news, according to the Daily Mail.
Well, for the Daily Mail readers, that is front page news.
Front page news.
Everyone loves Mary Berry.
Do they?
Yeah.
There's another story in here. You spotted this one. Trouble brews over shoppers paid to ask stores for Thai food. A surefire way to increase your popularity is to give the impression you're in demand. Now, trouble is brewing over claims that just such a strategy has been used to promote Thai food tea. So basically, a marketing company working for Thai food tea paid people, I think, quite a good price, £1.50 a call or £2.50 a letter, to get in touch with Sainsbury's and Tesco's and things. Say, oh, you're not stocking Thai food tea. Could you do that, please? So, and there's now
stealth manipulation.
There's outrage around it, but is that such a problem? I don't.
Well, it is if you're buying stock in that no one's really going to buy. If you're just asking for it for the on behalf of the advertisers.
Who are the main leaders in PG Tips? I suppose these days, is it? Oh, okay, right.
This is in the Sun. RAF women in March Compo. Fury erupted yesterday after it emerged 3 female RAF recruits got £100,000 each in compensation for having to march in step with their male colleagues.
Hang on a second, what?
I know. The women said it left them suffering spinal and pelvic injuries, but the payouts, more than troops get for losing an eye or a foot, were blasted as absurd. I have a problem with this, and I know we don't have the intricacies of it here. This is women as well who are local. They may be listening at RAF Halton. But we've been battling to be treated the same as the other recruits for years and years.
Yeah.
Don't give the blokes who don't want women in the army and the forces to have equal duties. Don't give them the ammo, for heaven's sake. I fear this is a bit of letting the side down.
Hang on a second. Now, I've got a picture of these women, or of women marching. They're wearing skirts. Does that make a difference? They're wearing skirts and they've got a smaller step.
They're not pencil skirts.
Okay.
But I think it's just because they're not as tall or burly as the men, was the argument. But I just think, there are certain things that help in your fight for equality and certain things that don't. And if you're going to say that you can do the same duties, you've got to be able to keep up, surely.
The guys were over 6 feet tall, says one of the women, so I was overstriding to march in step with them. Well, hang on a second. If you haven't got the legs for it, love, then you shouldn't be there.
What do they want to do? The men to slow down? Because if the men all slowed down,
the women
surely they're not as effective.
These women probably want segways. You know those things you stand on and wheel. They probably want those. I think it's outrageous.
I just fear it lets the side down somewhat.
08459 455 555 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call about that or anything else at all, you can also go to facebook.com/BBC3CR. Or if you wanted to, you could send us a text, 81333. Start your text 3CR. No, I'm not a massive T-Rex fan, but I've just read a book about Mark Bolan. So should we have a little bit of T-Rex?
Go on then, why not?
Let's get in the vibe, shall we? Now, as part of the BBC Three Counties Big Tour, we visit a different every town in Beds, Herts and Bucks, covering the stories from there that matter to you. Well, this week we're in Leighton Buzzard, but a couple of weeks ago we were in Welwyn Garden City, where you may remember a peasants' revolt was being set up by residents who'd received a letter from Lord Salisbury to say he had rights to their land. Well, on Saturday, they took their revolt further and staged a protest outside the Lord's home of Hatfield House. Our reporter Matt Lockwood was there.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas in your manor so grand. So wish us a Merry Christmas. So wish us a Merry Christmas. So wish us a Merry Christmas and give back our land.
The sound of Christmas cheer, peasants' revolt style. Organisers were expecting at least 50 people here today. The crowd is made up of homeowners, concerned residents, waving various placards, all with a Christmas theme. Make it right for Christmas. Give us peace of mind this Christmas.
Well, I don't know, but some folks say. I don't know, but some folks say. Every dog will have his day. Every dog will have his day.
We're making our way towards Hatfield House. Gives me a chance to speak to some people on the protest today. I mean, why did you feel you had to come down?
I believe very strongly that the estate should have considered that they don't refer to open fields and farmland anymore. They refer to real people with real homes and feelings, and it's a disgrace that this should have been allowed to happen. I don't believe that he's going to come along with bulldozers, but there are possible consequences now, because this whole thing has caused a bit of a blight, really, on our homes, as far as we're concerned, and we really want something done about it. It's just unjust.
I don't know, but it's been said.
I don't know, but it's been said.
Ancient laws are good as dead.
Ancient laws are good as dead.
Our rights, our home, our freehold is there. If there are any minerals under our property, then we should have them.
But Lord Salisbury's not going to come, is he, and start digging up your garden to find these minerals?
No, but what about in 100 years' time? The Salisbury estate may claim then.
People in Welwyn Garden City need to know, though, that there are potentially hundreds of homes who haven't had a notice from the Land Registry because they're leasehold and they think they're not affected, and this is not true.
Oh, what joy we won't have if Salisbury goes our way.
I just had the most ridiculous... I mean... Oh, good drums, Dave, thanks. The most ridiculous argument with Kelly Betts. Kelly, what were you saying?
That guy, Dave.
Yes, it's Dave Clark.
Is he the one from Dave, Dickie, Dick and Dom Dish? What was it? Nish, Tom, Dooley and Mary.
No.
What were they?
Try one more time.
Dave, Dick, Davy, Dom and Dash.
Yeah. No, Davey, Daisy, Bick and Mick and Titch. No,
Yeah,
that's Dave.
Pretty much what I said.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's Dave Clark 5.
Right.
Right.
Just checking.
But what was the question that you asked?
Did he buy the rights to music television? Like music videos?
Who?
Dave Clark 5.
How? What do you mean by the rights to music television?
I don't really know. It's just something that I heard.
So that if a pop band makes a video, he owns it?
Yes, back then, when not many people did make videos.
No.
So...
He bought Ready, Steady, Go, which is
the cereal.
Did you see, Catherine, this is what we have to deal with every day. I'm looking forward to having 2 weeks off over Christmas.
Are you having 2 weeks off?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
you
for
enjoy
some.
that. You enjoy that.
Well, are you not having any time off, you two?
I'm working Christmas Day.
Sucker, Catherine?
No, don't want to.
What are you up
So
to?
if the road to management are listening...
Yeah, Catherine? Sorry, you wouldn't shut up there. What was going on?
I'm left with this.
Oh, sorry about that. Merry Christmas, suckers.
So he didn't buy the
Oh,
rights
for
to
goodness sakes, go away.
Travel news from
Deary me.
This is Alice Glossop, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Alice, thank you very much indeed. Oh, Alice?
Yes?
Did you enjoy the Doctor Who 50th anniversary at the weekend?
I did, although I have to admit I fell asleep after about half an hour.
So, you fell asleep?
I'm afraid so.
Oh, for goodness, I've gone right off. Right, can we get someone else? I've gone right off, Alice. Thank you, Alice. Excellent stuff. Morning, Ian Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio. Can you believe it's Monday the 25th of November? 1 month to go. Oh, I'm excited. Lots coming up on the show between now and 8 o'clock, including local MP Dominic Grieve is in hot water. Over the weekend, he said that there was corruption was rife within the Pakistani community. Well, he's now backed down. But corruption, the favour culture he mentioned, surely that's rife in British society as well, isn't it? We'll be discussing that with a couple of people in a few moments. Tufty, the Green Cross Codeman and Alvin Stardust, we need to bring them back. We've totally forgotten how to cross the road and prefer to play the human version of Frogger rather than stop, look and listen. And front page of one of the newspapers, in lots of the others, there are still some of you out there who prefer maps over satellite navigation systems. I can't believe that for a second. Really? Facebook.com/BBC 3CR. You can send me a text, 81333. Start your text 3CR. Or you can give me a call, 08459 455 555.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Now, one of our MPs, local MPs, is in hot water this morning for comments suggesting that corruption is endemic in the Pakistani community. He said it was elsewhere, apart from the Indian community, but he did single out the Pakistani community. The Attorney-General and MP for Beaconsfield, Dominic Grieve, has since apologised for telling The Telegraph it must be made absolutely clear that a favour culture is unacceptable in Britain. Well, there's division this morning among leading members of Luton's Asian community. Joining me now are Labour councillor Wahid Akbar and the chairman of Community Cohesion Group Building Bridges. Good morning to both of you. Good morning to Akbar Khan.
Good morning.
Wahid, let's start with you first. Why were you so offended when Dominic Grieve said that there was corruption within the Pakistani community?
Yeah, good morning. I think he's so, this position is so responsible position, and he shouldn't be saying that kind of remarks to one community or any other community.
Why not? Because there is corruption within the Pakistani community, isn't there?
Provide any evidence of that?
So you're saying there's no corruption within the Pakistani community?
There might well be corruption in any other community. I think I would say it's not only Pakistani community. There are many other communities. So why he's targeting one community?
He did, or at least in the article, I don't know if this came from him, it did cite one example, didn't it, of a councillor in Slough who allegedly used corruption to get elected. I've been to Pakistan, I worked in Pakistan for 3 months, and I certainly saw corruption on a very low level, and also with members of the police force and prominent politicians.
Yes, I think there is, yes, I can say that there is corruption. But he cannot generalise to all the members of the community.
What do you think should happen to Dominic Grieve, Wahid?
I think he should resign.
You not think that's a little bit extreme?
No, I think that he should learn the lesson.
Akbar, you agree with what Dominic Grieve said, don't you?
I agree to the extent, Ian, that he has raised an important issue, and there is enough evidence out there about malpractices adopted by Pakistani politicians in local elections in 2007 and 2011. About 12.5 people were sent to prison in Birmingham, Slough, and Peterborough for indulging into malpractices during those elections.
But was Dominic Grieve right to single out the Pakistani community? Because there is corruption within other communities as well, isn't there, including the white British communities?
Well, there is. I agree. There's corruption everywhere, but I feel he made these comments on the back of the evidence that he had in front of them. Now, we need to take this into account that Dominic Grieve is a very important member of the government. He is the highest law enforcement officer, and he is a very, very, very clever an intelligent politician, and he wouldn't be saying things just for the sake of it.
Well, hang on a second. Very, very clever, intelligent politicians have said ridiculous things in the past. Akbar, Wahid believes that Dominic Grieve should resign. What would you say to that?
No. He has withdrawn his comments, and that should be enough, and we should move on.
Is that enough, Wahid? He's withdrawn his comments?
I think it's not enough because one is, I think he wanted to make the comments, and he made those comments, and if somebody slapping on somebody's face and then apologizing, that's not good enough.
Akbar, your response?
My response is that we need to move on from this situation. An issue has been rightly raised, and we need to look. We as the community need to look at practices which are prevalent within our societies, and be it the political field or be it charities that which are being run and managed by our communities. There's a lot of malpractice in both these fields, and we should be bringing them up to the scratch and bringing up to the British standards. We are not living in Pakistan, and we are not living in India and East Africa.
Councillor, the Mr. Khan there suggesting that the Pakistani community needs to step up to the British standards.
I think every community should be actually, should have some integrity and some malpractice. If there are any malpractices in the community or in the country, that should be dealt, and the referral made to Slough and other, the malpractices in local elections, I think that have been dealt and very seriously, and they have been imprisoned. And similarly, if somebody commits any offence, that should be punished severely.
Wahid, was he racist for what he suggested?
You mentioned about Pakistan, malpractices are in Pakistan. I think that is, yes, there should be. There are malpractices in Pakistan, but we cannot actually apply those malpractices here.
Wahid, was he racist for what he suggested?
Sorry? Yeah.
That was a racist comment?
That is completely racist.
I don't agree with that. I think it was a genuine attempt to raise an issue and profile of the issue, and which he has done. And he somehow, I think, the political convenience has come in again, and he has been made to shut up and withdraw from his position. I would have liked him to be part of this conversation today, and he might have come up with more evidence to back up what he has said, but there you go. That's politics.
He apologised, Akbar. What do you think about that?
I personally feel that he has been made to apologise. The heavies in the Conservative office have come down on him in a very strong manner, and said, "Look, there are votes at stake." You should not be talking in these terms. As I said, Dominic Grieve is not an ordinary minister. He is a very important member, and he wouldn't have said the thing he said without evidence. And it's very, very sad that he has been made to back down from what he has said. I think it's a genuine issue which needs to be discussed all over the country. And one way of discussing this issue is, Ian, that the government should set up a short commission to look at 7/7, what happened 7/7, who promoted 7/7, and both communities, the factees and those who were involved, need a closure on this, and we need to go into and have a look into this area of community life.
Akbar, the councillor Akbar thinks that he was being racist when he said this.
I don't think so. I have observed Dominic Grieve as a politician for many years, and he is an articulate person. I think it could have. I'm sure he must have evidence to say what he has said, and at the same time we are accepting that half a dozen people were sent to prison for a long time for malpractices in local elections, and we need to move away from those situations and give young people time.
Councillor, Akbar, hang on one second.
There is another...
Akbar, 1 second, because Wahid wants to come in. Wahid?
The point is, if he has evidence, why he hasn't provided any evidence? And I don't think that he has any evidence. The evidence he gave, the example of couple of examples, Slough or Peterborough or Birmingham, they have been properly dealt with by the law enforcement agency and by the courts. And why he is actually generalizing all the the Pakistani community, that is, I think, racist. He has intentionally actually damaged this community.
I don't go down that route because I don't buy this argument, and I don't follow this logic that the whole world is against the Pakistani community. But
if the whole world isn't against the Pakistani community, of course not. But do you not think this?
I think what he said that this is Pakistani community is corrupt.
But Mr. Khan, the whole world, gentlemen, hang on a second. The whole world may not be against the Pakistani community, Mr. Khan, but there are some that are, and some that are undecided. And the talk like this from Mr. Grieve isn't going to help, is it?
No, but he has raised an issue. Right, and we as a community must accept and deal with these kind of issues. I mean, when people talk about evidence, well, what more evidence? Which other members of the community have been convicted in that high number for these electoral frauds?
Okay, gentlemen, we have to end it there. Thank you very much. The last voice you heard was Akbar Khan, chairman of Community Cohesion Group Building Bridges, and the other voice you heard was Labour councillor Wahid Akbar. Couple of things, I suppose. Was Dominic Grieve Was he racist? Let's put that out there first. That's a nice, simple one. Was it a racist suggestion that corruption is rife within the Pakistani community? 08459 455 555. Is it divisive? Should he have apologised? Keen to get your thoughts on this, whatever side of the fence you are sitting on. Now, crossing the road, it's something very, very simple, yet so many people fail to do it properly. You'll have seen it, won't you? I saw this at the weekend. This always confuses me. I was in my car at a zebra crossing. There were people crossing the road 10 feet away with kids. And you think, oh, flipping heck. Walk the 10 feet. What, it's going to add an extra 30 seconds on your day? It's a simple thing to do. Or the worst thing is mums. It's always mums who, if they want to cross the road to stop the traffic, they put the front couple of wheels in the road. No. Now, we took great pride in teaching our eldest boy his Green Cross code when he was... Well, it was when we lived in London, so he just turned 3. We taught him the Green Cross code. He forgets it sometimes. He doesn't do it quite right sometimes still. But he knows it, and he does it most of the time. So why aren't you teaching your kids or your grandkids, and why aren't you doing it? There's been another accident on the A505 in Luton, a stretch of road where people constantly ignore pedestrian crossings and underpasses, preferring instead to run the gauntlet. Well, Justin Dealey, our reporter, you've been observing traffic on the A505 over the weekend, haven't you?
Ian, I've got to say I saw some shocking things here over the weekend. 2 examples for you. I saw 3 children, they could be no more than, 10 years old, and they were running the gauntlet. They had traffic lights to their left-hand side, they had an underpass to their right-hand side, they ignored both. 2 of them got across, they left 1 behind. I could do nothing. It was horrifying watching this. I think anybody who knows the A505 in Luton will know that people do not stick to 30 miles per hour, more like 40 or 50. They slow down for the speed cameras and then speed up again. But also 2 parents who unfortunately couldn't speak to me because they couldn't speak English, but they were running the gauntlet. They had their children in pushchairs. Can you believe that? And they were crossing the road. Just incredible. But I did manage to speak to a few pedestrians who ignored the crossing and the underpass, and I spoke to them. Here's what happened. So I just saw you cross the road there without using the traffic lights or the underpass. It's a really patronising question, but can I ask why you didn't use the facilities that are there?
Parked right up there, mate. Up the top of the road there. I should do really, but it's just easier to cross that way.
I mean, when you were crossing the road, did you not think this is a bit dangerous? It's a very fast road. I know it's 30, but people don't stick to that limit, do they?
I can cross the road. I know how to cross the road without... I don't want to be sound arrogant, but I know how to cross the road all right. I've never been knocked over yet. But no, I mean, I could use the underpass, but it takes me a bit out of my way, to be truthful.
I mean, there's talk of potentially having campaigns on TV on how to teach people how to cross the road. Mm-hmm. Do you think that would be a waste of time?
No, I did it when I was growing up. I had the Green Cross code. So... no, do no harm. Kids should learn. I teach my kids how to cross the road, and we always cross on the proper crossings and always wait for the green man, even if it's clear as well. So, but they can't see me doing this right now.
Faye, you've just crossed this road. There's an underpass over there. There's traffic lights to our right-hand side. Why didn't you use them?
Because this is just... Well, they should have a crossing here, perhaps. The opening's there for it.
There's a crossing there, though, literally 50 yards to our right-hand side.
But it's not where I need to get to. I need to get to there.
I'm sorry if I sound patronising here, but do you not think what you just did was extremely dangerous?
It was perhaps extremely dangerous. In hindsight, yes.
And you do that all the time, do you?
I am afraid I do. Yes, I do.
Andrew, you're quite interesting because you were about to cross the road, thought about it, and now you're about to use the underpass, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Partly for my own safety, partly because the route where I want to go, the underpass is the easiest route to get to there without crossing the road as it is.
I've just seen a number of people cross this road without using the underpass or the traffic lights. Do you think those people are crazy? Because it is quite a fast road.
Yes, there is no doubt that they're crazy. I'm in a high-vis jacket and I still wouldn't risk it if I didn't need to.
there are some really, I don't want to be rude, I will be, there's some really ignorant people there. Just listen, we've all done it, but I've kind of stopped recently because, as saying that, someone's going to spot me today crossing the road when I'm not meant to and phoning. I know it's always the danger of doing this this kind of thing. Do we need, do you think, the Green Cross Code man to come back?
Absolutely. Mind you, in saying that, of course, and the two people I spoke to that did cross this road, they, of course, would have grown up with that campaign. But from what I saw here over the weekend, I was shocked. I've got to be honest with you, because it's an incredibly fast road. What these people were doing was very, very dangerous. And these people are doing this all the time. You know, these people aren't just crossing the road as a one-off. They're saying, well, the traffic lights are there. Yeah, they're 50 yards away. It's not a case of you walking 15 minutes out of your way. From what I saw over the weekend, Ian, it doesn't surprise me that a number of people have crossed this road and have been run over as well.
J-Duck, thank you very much indeed. Joining me now is the president of the AA, Edmund King. Good morning, Edmund.
Good morning.
Would you like to see a return to the road safety adverts on the TV?
Well, yes, I think we would, and also broader than that, a return to having more about road safety in the national curriculum for school children, because road safety and staying safe on the roads, whether as a pedestrian, a cyclist, or indeed in a car, it is incredibly important. In fact, for young teenagers, it is the biggest cause of accidental death is actually on the roads, whether as a pedestrian or in a car. So I think it's actually vital that we do more in school, and then that could be linked to a Green Cross Code with advertisements, etc., to spell home to people what the real dangers are on the roads. And despite our improving road safety record, there still are real dangers.
Jaywalking is an offence in some parts of the state. Should we have something like that over here?
I don't think we need to go that far. You know, in the United States, in California, for instance, you can be on a fairly quiet road and there's no cars at all around, and if you're seen crossing that road, not at a crossing, you can get a fine for that. I think that's perhaps going too far. But what we need to do is get that balance between having safe pedestrian crossings in places that are convenient, but also the balance, depending on the road, on keeping the traffic flowing. Because obviously some roads which are bus routes or through routes, you need to keep that traffic flowing, whereas other roads that are closer to residential areas, closer to schools, offices, it is easier to put in more crossings and safer crossings. There was a bit of a debate last week from the organisation Living Streets about whether our crossings give you enough time to cross the road, and they were saying some elderly people are intimidated. Well, there's a way around that, because puffin crossings are the type of crossings that have an infrared camera and actually detect when the pedestrian is there, and indeed when they're not there. We all know the occasions when school kids may press the button and then walk away, and these kind of crossings actually detect that, so they're much more efficient. So one of the things we're calling for is more of those puffin crossings.
Are they new? I've never heard the term puffin crossing.
Yeah, you've probably seen them. The difference is that pelican crossings, when you actually press it on a pelican crossing, you look on the other side of the road and you see the green man on the other side of the road, and it gives you a set time.
Right.
Puffin crossings, you press it on your side of the road and you only have the green man on your side of the road. So when you look across the road, you don't see anything, because it gives you as much time as it takes to cross the road. And, you know, that is safer and also is more efficient for cars, because if no one's crossing the road, cars aren't held up as long. So I think that's something that would help both pedestrians and indeed drivers.
Edmund, thank you very much indeed. That was the president of the AA, dear listener. Not just some lackey, not just some PR puff person, the president of the AA, Edmund King. How cool is that? That's cool, isn't it?
We have the power.
We do. Does it? We have the power. Those three magic letters, BB and, C. You taught your kids the Green Cross Code, haven't you?
Yes.
Do they always remember it?
Very simple. Hold my hand when we're near the road. Look for the stripes.
Wow, you hold their hand, do you?
You have to hold
I'm
their
teasing,
hand.
of course you do. But my boy loves it. He loves doing the stopping, and he looks like this. He looks a little bit too fast. And he's doing that the whole way across.
He's doing the motion.
He's doing the motion. But, I mean, he's 3. He's not going to go out and cross the road on his own for quite a few years. But that's now in him. He knows it. And when he does need to use it, he'll use it. I can't imagine anything worse. My friend got run over once. He was fine. He went to hospital, but he was, unfortunately wasn't killed. But we all got him to describe being hit by a car. And he just said it was just the most amazing crack. You could hear the sound, you could feel the sound within him.
I saw my friend get hit by a car very slowly.
Yeah.
But it was the most shocking thing.
Yeah.
And thankfully she walked away from it. But terrifying, absolutely terrifying.
I normally find I've always found those kind of public safety films quite patronising, apart from one where some kids go and play in a barn in a farm and then an old steel mattress crushes them and kills them. That I know that has stayed with me forever. Very specific.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, I remember it. It's terrifying. But I'm kind of thinking, maybe I need to be a little bit less cynical. The Green Cross Code Man, David Prowse, the Darth Vader...
It's part of your makeup now,
It's part of my genetic makeup. Alvin Stardust with his creepy finger. There was another one
When I was a teenager, there were these little shoes that said, "Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. No, you may find that you'll lose your head." Exactly.
Johnny was a fool. He didn't act cool. He walked on out. He broke every rule. He should have stopped, look and listen. Should have used his head. If you don't watch out, he's going to wind up dead.
True.
True, based on a true story. 08459 455 555. Do we need to bring back those public safety information films? Part of me thinks we do. They may be silly. We may laugh at them, but it's right. It's ingrained in me because I saw it so many times. The worst thing is if you're driving through a big town, London being an example, but other towns, the towns within the 3 counties. Oh my! People just think because it's a big city. Oh, they could just walk out on the road. And if they raise their hand, their open palm at you, that has the power to stop a car. Let me tell you, kids, it don't.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Oh, here's an interesting thing from David on the text. I think it's really bad manners not to thank drivers for stopping for you at zebra crossings. Just wave or a nod would do. Well, is it, David? Surely because you have to stop at a zebra crossing, don't you? I stuck 2 fingers up at a fella the other day. I know, I work for the BBC. I'm probably not allowed to do that. He didn't stop at the zebra crossing. I'd taken 3 steps on the zebra... 2 steps. 2 steps on the zebra crossing, and he still didn't stop. Oh, I got angry. That annoys me. And here's what annoys me. You see this a lot, right? There's a couple of people stood at the side of a zebra crossing, so you slow down and you stop. You wait, and you wait. They just stood there having a chat. They don't realise they've stood at a zebra crossing. If you're stood at a zebra crossing, you better be wanting to cross that road, otherwise short shrift.
I had one a few months ago where the group of guys started walking out and one of them took deliberately long time to get across and started pretending he was looking at his watch.
I think you're allowed legitimately to nudge them with your bumper, aren't you?
I don't think so, but I did get quite wound up.
We'll verify that. Another thing we need to verify is why on earth is Kelly Betts working with us today? Has she been sent just to wind us up?
What?
You're really annoying me today.
Some things are... I just have questions I need to get...
I've got a question, and I'll be asking the boss about that question, and the question is, when will you...
get a transfer to Radio 1. I don't know,
No.
my hopes are on that as well.
I don't want shoddy people working with me. And boy, oh boy, Kelly, you were banging on about something about Dave Bong, Beezy, Bus and Bispish.
Mick and Titch.
Owning pop music earlier. And now during the news, I'm listening to Jane doing the news. By the way, Jane, it's only her second or third week doing it here. Cracking job. I think she's fitting in well with the, in inverted commas, team. I use that word very, very loosely. And then you buzz through with the most ridiculous, asinine question I've ever been asked. Go on.
What's the Beatles song that goes, I'm gonna tell you... It starts like that.
Do it. Just sing that line again.
Don't clip it. Don't clip it and play it, because... Oh, you're going to. It makes me not want to do it. I'm gonna tell that...
There's a word there.
Now you're singing...
But I don't know the word.
You're now singing Long Tall Sally, I think.
Is that what it is?
Well, I don't know, because... When you were doing it earlier, the first time she came through, she went, what's that Beatles song that goes...
It's the same, but I just added some words.
08459 455 555. 2 things here. Firstly, can anybody else give Kelly Betts a job that will get rid of her? And secondly, do you know what this song is?
I gotta tell...
Unbelievable.
It's all in the head movement as well.
Yeah, she's doing a lot of head movements. 08459 455 555. Thank you very much. Indeed, later on in the show, we'll be talking about maps versus sat-navs. Not too quickly, I'll do some Facebook comments on that, and then we'll get to my interview with Ollie Martins. Luann says, I use maps, and I don't get lost or sent miles out of my way and end up in a dead end. Well, listen, those idiots who blindly follow the sat-nav, my sat-nav is really old. It's got to be 9 years old. I'm not paying to update the maps, so quite often it will try and send me the wrong way up a one-way street, or there will be roads that have closed, or roads that aren't, whatever. You've got to take it with kind of a pinch of salt, don't you? You don't follow it blindly. Jackie says, I always maps for me. Claire says, I love maps. You can't write on a sat-nav or mark places of interest. Yes, you can. You click the button that says places of interest. Sam says, yes, you can. William says, I always use maps. Sat-navs give a route, but a good map gives you a bigger picture. I don't want a bigger picture. I want to get from A to B. Forget C, D, E and F. And Drake says, I understand sat-nav for delivery drivers or people whose driving habits consist of driving to work or visiting the family. Don't need it. We normally print directions on an AA route finder. And then, so you're reading whilst you're driving? In worst cases, we use a phone to get a map. Oh, dear. Peter's in Walmer Green. On the subject of road safety, Peter.
Well, your pedestrian crossing should all have lights, really. The push type where a pedestrian can push so a red light shows, because that would save a lot of lives. More lives than you realise, really.
Hang on, what do you mean lights? What traffic lights?
Yeah.
Even zebra crossings?
There are some on pedestrian crossings, but they should all be like that, controlled. You just press a button so the red light shows.
I don't think... You know that you press the button?
Yeah.
I think for about 70% of those, 80% of those, that button doesn't do anything.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't know about the percentage, but I've seen the ones that work, and they work very, very well. But if you look somewhere like the Old Bailey, the traffic lights outside there, yes. I mean, it looks horrendous for people crossing the road there, I tell you. So, with lights on all pedestrian crossings, you would save an enormous number of lives.
Now, listen, people have lost their lives recently, so let's tread slightly carefully. But do you have much sympathy for pedestrians if they're just running out into the road?
Well, they've got as much. Well, yeah, you'll always get idiots, but then again, I treat every other driver on the road as an idiot.
Well, yes, that's fair enough.
And furthermore, I wouldn't put a sat-nav in there because that's also done by an idiot.
Oh. Peter, well, just going off on a slight tangent, I don't know if you heard Kelly Betts singing the line from a Beatles song earlier on. Kelly, could you just give Peter that line from the Beatles song, please? do you know what that is?
No.
Kelly, do it one more time.
But I forgot how it goes.
Just give me your best shot. Do you know a song that goes...
No, I lived through that era and I can't remember.
Well, probably not then, Peter. If you lived through it, then it would certainly be tough. Thank you very much indeed. Mark's in Bedford. Morning, Mark.
Good morning, sir.
You think you know this song. Kelly, one more time. You know that, do you?
Well, I think it's You're Gonna Lose That Girl by the Beatles.
No, it can't be.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe, because you're gonna lose that girl.
I've got that song queued up. Let's have a listen. You think it's this? Do it again, Kelly, then we'll go into it.
You're gonna lose that. Oh, no, that's not it.
It's nothing like it.
You're gonna lose.
No, it's more Right, all together at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Any other suggestions, Mark?
No.
Okay,
no, You're Gonna Lose That Girl is probably a good song, though.
It's a good song. It's just not the right song. It's a cracking song. No one's denying that. Thank you very much, Mark. We'll keep looking. 08459 455 555. Now, as part of BBC Three Counties Radio Big Tour, we go to a different town in Beds, Herts and Bucks every week, covering the stories that matter to you. Well, this week we're in the Bedfordshire market town of Leighton Buzzard. Windows in many of the town's banks remain boarded up after a man went on the rampage in the middle of the night, smashing the glass. Everyone wanted to talk about this, and they linked it back to a lack of police on the streets. Well, we've covered the story of the possible closure of the police station in the town, and again, this was the main topic of conversation for people in Leighton Buzzard. So, I went to visit the town with Bedfordshire's PCC, Ollie Martins, to find out for myself what was going on. So, I'm outside Leighton Buzzard Police Station on what is a very bright but a very cold day. And I say cold, it's very, very cold. Paul Scoynes, the political reporter, is here as well. Morning, Paul.
Morning.
You have spent the night with Bedfordshire Police, haven't you?
Yeah, from Leighton Buzzard. We went out on some routine patrols, but they were fairly proactive, so they're going out looking for known burglars and areas where there have been known burglaries and are sort of laying in wait.
We'll talk more about that in a second. We're also joined by Ollie Martins, the Police and Crime Commissioner. Morning, Ollie.
Hi, Ian.
What's the plan for this police station?
In the long term, we want to move to shared premises with the fire brigade and the council. In the short to medium term, we're probably going to find something that's a bit smaller than this site, but in a more accessible and more prominent location in the town centre.
The Mayor's not very happy, is she?
No, but I think the Mayor's got her own agenda.
What might that be?
It's a little political.
Some of the residents aren't happy as well. We have had callers to the show saying that they're not keen. What would you say to them to put their mind at ease?
Well, I would say that there is always going to be a permanent police footprint in the town. This station is only 10% occupied and it's burning an 83 grand a year hole in my pocket, so we need to be somewhere that's more cost effective. You know, Leighton Buzzard is 6% of the county's population, but only 4% of the crime. So it is a pretty safe place. Most crime is reported using 101. That's how the vast majority of people report crime generally. This station is only receiving at most between 3 and 4 callers a day.
Shall we cross over here? How often is that proactive policing Paul saw last night happening? Was that a special show for him, or is that a regular occurrence?
No, this is an ongoing operation that is run almost on an annual basis because the police have recognised that there's historically a spike in crime when the clocks change.
Is there?
Yeah.
How is that?
Darker nights lend themselves to going and burgling.
Okay. Now, Ollie, we're in the centre of town. It's very nice. We're approaching the HSBC bank, which has got a boarded up window. There was an incident, wasn't there, recently? What happened?
I understand someone who'd consumed rather too much alcohol went rampaging down the street and basically smashed 7 windows.
It was banks, it was an estate agent. It was reported at 2:20, I think, in the morning. The response time was 2:30, 10 minutes. That's pretty good going, isn't it?
You know, it was not a very pleasant thing to happen for the town, but the police were here and dealing with it in pretty short order. Could always be a little bit faster, but no, I think that's pretty good.
Let's have a little walk down the street, and let's, if it's okay with you, if we just approach a couple of people and see kind of what's on their mind, really.
Yep, that's no problem.
Chaps, you got a couple of seconds. We're from BBC Three Counties Radio. Do you know who this gentleman is?
No idea. Sorry.
This is Ollie Martins. This is your Police and Crime Commissioner.
All right.
You don't recognise him?
No.
Do you know what one is?
Police and Crime Commissioner. Something to do with crime.
Chaps, thank you very much for your time. I just wondered if you recognise this gentleman at all.
Police Commissioner.
Wow, very good.
Are you happy with the job that's being done by the police at the moment, or have you got any concerns?
Well, we seem to be without proper cover in the town like we used to have. Used to have a policeman walking past our house, only occasionally, but, you know, you've got to know the local neighbourhood Bobby.
Ollie, what would you say to that?
Well, unfortunately, police visibility is what reduces when you're having to take £25 million out of your budget, or 25% out of your budget. But I'm very aware that is the largest concern that a lot of people have in the county, and as I say, that's why I saved the PCSOs, that's why we're recruiting 80 frontline officers, and it's why I want to double the size of the Special Constabulary. So
yeah, but there's going to be more PCSOs and Special Constables walking around?
Yeah, nice. I mean, we used to know the local Bobby when I came here, and you walk down the street, you say, "Chop, now have a chat with him." Any concerns? But these days, you know, you see a car going by with its blue light on. I think it's a reasonably safe town.
Do you think Ollie's doing a good job?
He hasn't been in long enough, really, to do it. He hasn't been in 12 months yet, has he? Or about 12 months, I suppose. You know.
12 months today I took office.
Get your feet under the table.
I just wondered, do you recognise this gentleman at all?
I do.
Who is it?
I've got no idea.
But you recognise him?
Yeah.
This is Ollie Martins. This is your Police and Crime Commissioner.
Oh, is it? I do know you. Have you been in the paper?
I get in the paper a fair amount, yeah.
I've never had to use a police station myself personally, but I do know. I do know that we do. we have a bit of a problem at weekends with the youngsters in the town.
What kind of happens? Just kids getting drunk and making a lot of noise?
And having an 18-year-old son myself, it's I'd like to think that he was protected in some
There was an incident recently, I don't know, where a gentleman got drunk and ran down the high street 2:30 in the morning. No, I'm not... Good. We could strike him off your list, Ollie. Smashing 7 or 8 windows along the high street. I mean, that stuff must be kind of worrying.
Yeah, and the other thing, I mean, I'm very conscious of the police helicopters flying over above it quite often as well, and it's usually at weekends and stuff. So, yeah, so I want more policemen around, particularly at weekends. It would be really good.
Weekends, drunken revellers. Is there anything more you can do? I mean, is it practical to have an actual police presence out on the street?
Well, I mean, at the moment, a lot of police resources are deployed at the weekend, and a lot of the special constables, the volunteer police officers, also get used at the weekend to police what they call the nighttime economy. And Leighton Buzzard is on the list, so there's a van that will be around most Friday and Saturday nights.
Is he doing a good job, do you think?
I think we're okay. We're not that bad in Leighton Buzzard. I think, generally speaking, I think it's quite a nice town, and it's I don't think we're really as bad as places like Dunstable or Luton or anything. So
just keep your eye on this lady's son.
Yeah, just keep him an eye. He wants to be a policeman, so yeah. So,
right. Yeah. This is the guy you need to speak to.
I do. Yeah, no, he's in sixth form at the moment, but he desperately wants to be a policeman. So
why does he want to be a policeman when there are cutbacks being made? And why does he want to?
He's very aware that it's going to be very, very difficult for him to actually get in, but he just really, really wants to be a policeman. He has done for years, and I think it's just about he's very good with people. He likes working with people. So yeah. So
I wish him the best luck. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much.
Right, I need your help with this. I'm going to text. Excuse me, from Phil. Ian, as a driver, you only have to stop at a zebra crossing if a pedestrian is already on it. Waiting by the side of the crossing isn't a signal for traffic to stop. We'll just do it out of courtesy. I don't think that's right. I think it's a legal requirement, isn't it? To stop? Right. Dear listener, can we have someone thumbing through their highway code for us, please, and then give me a call, 08459 455 555. If you see someone standing at the side of the road, standing at the side of a zebra crossing specifically, you do have to stop, don't you? Don't you? And Debbie says on the text, in Houghton Regis, there are half a dozen crossings in close proximity to each other. Cars are not stopping even when people are on them. One stopped for me, and I was halfway across when another totally ignored me and crossed inches from my face. 08459 455 555. Now, as part of the BBC Three Counties big tour, we visit a different town every week in Beds, Herts and Bucks. This week we're in Leighton Buzzard, and if you've got a story for us you think we should be talking about Leighton Buzzard, then give us a call. But a couple of weeks ago we were in Welwyn Garden City, where you may remember a peasants' revolt was being set up by residents who received a letter from Lord Salisbury to say he had rights to their land. On Saturday, they took their revolt further and staged a protest at the Lord's home of Hatfield House. But it confused some visitors who were attending the Christmas fair there this weekend.
Haven't got a clue. What's it for? Just arrived for this.
Are you local residents?
No.
No, that's probably why they wouldn't. But I am a local resident, and no, I didn't know anything about it. So I do now.
What's it about then?
What's it about? As I understand, it's something to do with fracking and...
What's fracking?
Manorial rights. Oh,
drilling for the gas, that's causing... They're going to damage the countryside, they're saying. But it's supposed to be the future for gas...
Energy, yeah.
Gas, energy. Yeah.
Well, we can catch up now with the leader of that group, Amanda White. Amanda, nice to speak to you again.
Yeah, good morning.
How did it go at the weekend?
It was a great success, actually. We had sort of up to 50 people at various times of the day, all with placards and marching up and down, bit of singing. I think you played some of
We heard what fine voice you were in.
Well, we wanted it to be good-natured because it was our Ask Nicely march and give the Marquis a chance to be benevolent and give us back our peace of mind.
So for those people who haven't been following this story, and there were some people there, obviously, who didn't quite know what this was about, just sum up very briefly what your problem is.
Our problem is that the Lord of the Manor, that's Lord Salisbury, has registered his ancient manorial rights over our land, which includes technically the right to hunt, fish, shoot and to dig for minerals on privately owned property. This is not an issue of ownership. We own the land and indeed as freeholders.
Were there people approaching you at the weekend saying, what's going on here? What's this all about?
Yeah, there were a lot of people, because we did time this to coincide with the Christmas fair, so there'd be a lot of cars in and out. We want to spread the word. We had there was traffic, queuing up to go in, and people saying, what's this all about then? And we want to spread the word nationwide, because we're not the only area. There's been 82,000 of these notices issued. Nobody understands it. And a lot of people in Welwyn Garden City don't realise that they are affected.
Did you get to speak to the Lord or any of his representatives?
No, they didn't actually come out, although we have to say the estate was very gracious and came out with coffee and mince pies.
Oh, no, Amanda, I hope you didn't accept it, because they are trying to butter you up.
It'll take more than a mince pie to make me drop this one, I tell you.
First mince pie of the year, lovely. What are you going to do now? What's the next stage?
Well, we're meeting again this evening, 7 o'clock at Stanborough School, to pool our knowledge so far. This has been a tremendous information gathering activity. Nobody had heard of manorial rights before. We've been in touch with organisations like Liberty, who are interested in our case, and we're pursuing various avenues to challenge this legally. But we still hope that Lord Salisbury, with his £300 million, will give it up. Just give it up. Give it back to us. Give us peace of mind. But we're willing to take this to a legal challenge if necessary.
Amanda, I appreciate your time. No doubt we'll speak to you again as we follow this story closely. It's Amanda White, first mince pie of the year. I don't think I've had mine yet. Ooh. It's the 25th of November. It's Christmas, isn't it? It's officially, we're in the Christmas season, aren't we? 08459 455 555. Now, just a few minutes ago, I read a text from Phil. Let me just read this again. Ian, as a driver, you only have to stop at a zebra crossing if a pedestrian is already on it. Waiting by the side of a crossing isn't a signal for traffic to stop. We just all do it out of courtesy. I don't know if that's true. Richard in Winslow, is that true?
Well, I certainly know that if someone is on a zebra crossing and you drive onto that zebra crossing, you have committed an offence. And if there's a copper standing nearby, he'll nick you for it. The problem is these days, not enough coppers standing nearby. And I don't think that the PCSO can nick you, but he may be able to report you. Anyway, why are you picking on Kelly Betts? Because she can't remember that song.
Sorry, what? Hang on a second.
Why are you picking on Kelly Betts?
Oh.
Because she was singing, "You're going to lose that girl," because she was in a Scouse accent. He's not as bad as the Scouse accent from that football manager, Carl.
Now I know exactly how the Trojans felt. I've been given this wonderful, great big wooden horse that's just turned up at my gate. I've let it in without thinking anything of it. Suddenly Richard in Winslow pops out and starts having a pop at me. Kelly Betts has been trying...
Have you heard Carl, the football manager? He was being interviewed about his football team one day.
Yes.
And he said, well, they played a blinder in the first half, but they slowed down in the second half, but that was due to tiredness and fatigueness.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about a football manager, not Bernard Manning.
Well, I can't do a very good Scouse accent.
It was supposed to be Scouse. The reason I'm annoyed with Kelly is she's trying to... she wants to know what a Beatles song is.
Leave the girl alone.
Well, OK, you listen to this song and you tell me what it's supposed to be. Go on, Kelly.
I'm going to lose that girl.
It's not, I'm going to lose that girl.
It's how it starts. That's the beginning of the song.
It's how it starts, isn't it, Kelly?
No.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
Which one is it, Kelly?
I don't know, that's what I'm trying to figure out, Richard in Winslow.
I'm going to lose that girl. It's because he's in a Scouse accent.
No, we played the beginning of it, I'm going to lose that girl.
What's going on with you? Kelly, I'm trying to defend you here, girl.
I know, and I really appreciate it. But
You're both just taking over my show. Could you both stop it, please?
What are you up to, Richard?
No, certainly not. No, I think we're doing a good job, don't you, Kelly?
I do, yeah, thanks.
Yeah. When you remember the song, let me know.
I will, I'll give you a call.
I'm going to lose that girl. That's the one that goes to that tune that you're doing. You're going to lose that girl. Yeah.
I know the exact one you mean, but it's not how it the one I'm on about starts... Do you know what? It starts with just vocals, and then the music comes in afterwards.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm flummoxed.
What are you doing today, Richard?
Trying to listen to...
There we go. I can only apologise. Kelly Betts wants more airtime. You can understand why she's not getting it. Joyce is in Leagrave. Good morning, Joyce. I'm sorry you had to listen to that.
Yes. OK, good morning.
Good morning, Joyce.
Yes, there's quite a lot of these pedestrian crossings. You know when you press the button on the box?
Yes.
Well, I don't know about the very, very modern ones, but get your little one to press the button, yes.
Yes.
And at the bottom,
There we go.
underneath this box,
Yes.
there's a little whirl screw, like a worm screw.
Yeah, there's a little grooved cone, isn't there?
And if they hold it,
Yes.
when the little green man comes on, that will turn round.
Yes.
Because little toddlers then, they will be dying to do that.
You're right.
And
That's for blind and deaf people, isn't it?
yes, that's right. That's right.
You see, Joyce, thank you. Sorry to cut it short. We're running out of time. Yes, I'm always a big fan of that. You'll notice it now that it's been mentioned. There's a little grooved, inverted cone on the bottom of the crossings, and when it's safe to cross, it spins, and that's how blind and deaf people cross the road. You see. This is Ian Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio. 4 minutes past 8, Monday the 25th of November, 1 month to go. Very, very excited. Lots coming up on the last hour of the show this morning, including local MP Dominic Grieve is in hot water over his comments at the weekend saying that corruption was endemic within the Pakistani community. He's since apologised, but was he right to say it? Or was it a racist statement? People have forgotten how to cross the roads. Do we need to bring back Alvin Stardust and the Green Cross Code Man? How do we knock some sense into these people? And sat-navs are better than maps. Well, that's according to me, but not according to quite a few of you. Is there anybody listening to this who will phone up and say, yes, Ian, I still use a map. I don't have a satellite navigational system. Facebook.com/BBC3CR. You can send me a text, 81333. Start your text 3CR. Or you can give me a call, 08459 455 555.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
So we had a text about zebra crossing from Phil. I questioned the validity of what he had to say here. Ian, as a driver, you only have to stop at a zebra crossing if a pedestrian is already on it. Waiting by the side of the road isn't a signal for traffic to stop. We just all do it out of courtesy. I dispute that. I think it's a legal requirement. David's in Hemel. Morning, David.
Good morning.
David, you've got the highway code with you.
Yes, I have.
Have you got it open to the appropriate paragraph?
Yes, I have.
Could you read it for us, please?
It says Rule 19. This is a zebra crossing. Give traffic plenty of time to see you and about to stop before you start to cross. Vehicles will need more time when the road is slippy. Wait until traffic has stopped from both directions or the road is cleared before crossing. Remember that traffic does not have to stop until somebody else moves onto the crossing.
Philip, who sent in the text, you have my humblest apologies for doubting your word.
There's also one for the drivers as well.
Go on.
It says you must give way when a pedestrian has moved onto the crossing.
Ah, OK.
And where there is a central reservation as classed as two separate zebra crossings.
Oh.
So if you get to the central reservation, the other traffic has to stop.
You've got to start all over again. Yeah. I did. Well, David, did you realise that?
I knew that. Yes, I always have known it.
Oh, OK. Well, I must have known it at some point in my life.
I used to say you had to put your foot on the crossing for the traffic to stop.
Gosh, suddenly the zebra crossings sound almost as dangerous as the zebra crossings on the continent that have no power whatsoever.
No, but out of courtesy, most truck drivers do stop anyway if they see somebody waiting.
David, I appreciate you clearing that up. Thank you very much indeed. Phil, I'm sorry. I doubted your text. Sorry. I do like the zebra crossings in the continent. I was in Zakynthos, Greek island, in the summer, as always, and there was a terribly British couple, and the man was halfway across the zebra crossing, and a car just swerved round him. He went, "Oh, excuse me, I'm on a zebra crossing!" I thought, you're in Greece, mate, it ain't going to work. They don't work. They're just lines painted on the road to look nice over here. Kelly Betts has been annoying me, but she's been annoying me even more today because she's been trying to sing this. Right, apparently it's a Beatles song.
It is. It's the start of a Beatles song.
You reckon?
Yep.
Grant's in Milton Keynes. Grant, is it?
Yes, it's a Long Tall Sally, but it's a kind of cover which the Beatles did. Do you know it?
I do know it. And hang on a second, when I suggested Long Tall Sally, she went, "Oh no, it's not that. It's not that." She's listening to.
Who said that?
You said that.
Is that my voice?
Oh, it's not that, Ian. It's not that.
Well, hang on. We've got the song on the system. Let's have a listen. You're saying it's Long Tall Sally. Let's see if it's right.
Yes.
Oh well, that is nothing like.
Yes. I'm gonna turn.
Right. Okay.
It's the same. It's the same.
It starts with "I'm gonna."
Yes.
So that's how I knew it.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, let's the count of three. Well, you can do
Shall
it.
I do it at the same
Beatles.
time?
1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna turn it.
Oh, for goodness sake!
Do you know what those words? Can you tell what those words are? He's actually singing.
Go on, tell us.
I think it's "I'm going to tell Aunt Mary about Uncle John."
Oh,
said he
what
had
did
to
he
visit,
do?
but he's had a lot of fun. I think he's having a bit of
Isn't it all about? It's all about sex, isn't it?
Who's Sally then?
Yeah, he's having an affair on the side or something. You know, he's gone out and playing around.
Now, Grant, how are you come you're so au fait with the Beatles?
So I'm in a Beatles tribute band. I'm actually John Lennon in this Beatles band called Ultimate Beatles.
The Ultimate Beatles, dear listeners. When are you going to come in on a Friday morning then and do some songs for us?
Probably never.
Oh.
Whoa, hang on a second. Why?
Well, I did, come in once. Well, there used to be a Three Counties in Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
And I sort of, it was just a bit, I sort of play with my boys. I need, Paul, Ringo and George.
Well, get Paul, Ringo and George to come in on a Friday morning, Grant.
I could be Lennon. I could be you.
Grant's Lennon.
Yeah, but he just said he
you're
doesn't want
McCartney.
to.
Kelly,
oh,
you're
I'm McCartney because of the vocals that I just did.
Based on your vocals for Long Tall Sally.
Grant, you're denying us access to the Beatles.
Trouble is, we've got day jobs as well, and it's sort of, I know it's a bit lame.
I'm just hearing excuses.
I'm just hearing excuses. He's gone. He's out. Right. Well, let's. Right. In that case, what we'll do is we'll get a Rolling Stones tribute act in and we'll convert to the Stones, a band I detest, but we'll convert to the Stones, I think. Grant, thank you very much indeed for that. We've worked out what that song is. Thank goodness. But we're going to start burning Beatles records. It's 1965 all over again. Now, a leading Luton Muslim says the Attorney General was right to suggest corruption is endemic in some ethnic minority communities. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Let me just get to the right story, otherwise we'll be all over the shop. Hang on one second. Dominic Grieve's comments suggesting corruption is endemic in the Pakistani community, comments which he's apologised, are splitting opinions among Luton's leading Asians. Here's what happened during my discussion earlier on in the show with Akbar Khan from Building Bridges and Borough Councillor Wahid Akbar.
He wanted to make the comments and he made those comments, and if somebody slapping on somebody's face and then apologizing, that's not good enough.
My response is that we need to move on from this situation. An issue has been rightly raised, and we need to look. We as the community need to look at practices which are prevalent within our societies. We are not living in Pakistan, and we are not living in India and East Africa.
Well, Sundar Katwala is the director of British Future, an identity and integration think tank. Good morning, Sundar.
Good morning.
What's your reaction to what Dominic Grieve said, that corruption is endemic within the Pakistani community?
Well, I think he's overgeneralised with the use of the word endemic there, which is the reason I think that he's withdrawn somewhat what he said. But I think this argument about whether he should or shouldn't have said it, or whether he should or shouldn't have apologised, is getting a bit too heated. He is the Attorney General. He has a responsibility, I think, for overseeing, the probity of British law, and elections are a very important part of that. So he should raise concerns that he's got. He hasn't done this in a speech or an article. He's done it in an interview, and so I think he's probably not put the point in exactly the way he'd like to, and was a bit taken aback by the scale of the headlines.
Well, if he is in a point of responsibility, he does have to be very, very careful with what he says. And he did. He said it was other groups, but he didn't name any other groups. In fact, he said it certainly wasn't the Indian community. And at times of perhaps slightly heightened tension against Pakistanis and the majority of whom are Muslims, it would seem a little careless, at the very least, wouldn't it, to say something like this?
Well, but perhaps, but I think it's the balance between saying something, and I think the reason he's, withdrawn the way he made his comments is that he's put too much focus on one community and not being able to talk about issues at all, which is that people are concerned both about generalising and stereotyping, but they're also concerned about a sense that we might sweep issues under the carpet that need to be looked at. Now, I don't think the issue is endemic, but I think that you should root it out wherever it exists, and you certainly shouldn't say, well, if it happens within a minority community, that's going to be a bit tricky. We won't talk about that because that might raise sensitivities. I think you should be equally insensitive to this happening in any community, but make sure you're dealing with all the cases. The corruption, I think, is quite limited in British politics, but it's really, really important to root it out. There's a broader thing that happens, which is a sort of unhealthy form of sort of machine politics or political organising, which I don't think is distinctively there in minority communities, but might happen in some, ethnic groups. It might also happen in some trade unions. It might happen among some political elites or, corporate donors or something. And it's worth being careful of that, but that's a separate issue from corruption, people being too much in a sort of you scratch my back style of politics. You see that right at the top of politics. You might see that in very local politics as well. It's unhealthy, even if it's not illegal.
The Tories have traditionally not been particularly popular with ethnic minority voters. Do you think this will further damage their image?
I don't think it will help them. I think the row about it won't help them. I think one thing that was new in this row, though, is that you had Conservative voices, an MEP from a Pakistani background challenging the comments and then accepting the apology. So I think to some extent the party benefits a bit from the fact that it's broadened out a little bit in the last 5 years. That it now has minority voices. This wasn't a view that ethnic minorities vote Labour and the Conservatives will say something about them and be attacked by Labour. This was actually the Conservatives having benefited a little bit from being a bit more diverse, had that debate within their own parties. I think they should stress that. That's another reason to be careful about the way you talk about groups and communities, but it should never be a reason not to raise issues of corruption or malpractice if they exist. But I think the most important thing the Attorney General can do is if he can find cases, then he should just make sure they're properly investigated and properly prosecuted, because that's the only way to deal with the issue. How wide scale is it? I suspect it's pretty minor, but it's really important that it doesn't grow.
Sundar Katwala, Director of British Future, an identity and integration think tank. Thank you very much indeed. You can have your say on that. 08459 455 555. We're talking about maps versus sat-navs as well. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Ben, Facebook, maps all the way. Liz, colour me a freak then. I use maps and the Google Route Finder. I think sat-navs can be dangerous. Not if they're used sensibly. Monica, always have a map in the car and very often check if I'm not sure what sat-nav is saying. Sat-nav is a device. It can be wrong, have a glitch or just stop working. Paper map never stop working. Yes, paper maps stop working when new roads get built, old roads get closed. Nicola, always use maps. They never run out of battery or send you in the wrong direction. Plug it into the cigarette lighter and use a bit of common sense, is my tip. Andrea says, I love my map. You love your map. Gary says, nothing wrong with using a map. I have a sat-nav too. Even that takes me the wrong way sometimes. 08459 455 555. Yeah. So I'm having time off over Christmas. 2 weeks. And I don't normally like taking time off over Christmas. I normally like to work straight through and just count that cash. But I thought, no, do you know what? I'm going to take 2 weeks off and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, it'll do you good.
You're saying I look very tired today.
You do, looking a little tired.
I feel it.
A little dark under the eyes.
Feel old. Are you off over Christmas?
Of course.
Oh, you always go away, don't you?
Yes.
Somewhere hot and nice.
Well, I'll tell you what, that week between Christmas, because Christmas Day, that's always quite fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
And then you've got the hell that is Boxing Day.
Yes.
And then there's that awful week, isn't there, where kind of some people have to go back to work for a few hours and then other people don't, and everything's cold and depressing, and all there is on the TV is kind of old reruns of films, and it's all rather miserable. I'd rather be away during that.
Wow, okay.
Having my holidays.
Well, look at you grinning like a Cheshire cat. You're very, very excited.
I know.
Got to ask you, quick question. I know the weekend was very, very important for you, very busy.
Oh, yeah.
But what did you think of the new Doctor Who? Wasn't it great? Wasn't it great?
I have no idea. Didn't watch it.
Are you going to watch it today? I won't spoil it then. I won't spoil it, but you're in for a treat. Oh, the last few minutes is wonderful.
No.
Huh?
No, I won't be watching it today either.
Tomorrow?
There's a whole host of things that, frankly, I'd rather be doing.
Ouch.
Including taking all my clothes off and running through Luton Town Centre.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Not going to do that again, are you?
Giving myself some kind of disease.
Oh dear.
All kinds of things ahead of watching.
Are a very, very strange chap.
Really?
Just gone off you about 6% there. It was quite low anyway to start with.
I was going to say, what's left?
You're in minus figures.
Oh, no, not again.
What's on your show today?
Well, I want to talk to you about some comments that have been made by a very interesting man. A senior immigration tribunal judge has told the BBC that the full Muslim face veil has no place in British society. Oh. This chap, he's called Judge Khurshid Drabu. He's been an advisor to the MOD and the Muslim Council of Britain. He says that if women want to wear the veil, they should move to a country where they'd feel more comfortable. For example, Pakistan, Qatar or Saudi Arabia. He says the veil isn't a religious requirement, it's simply a cultural item that is in no way needed or appropriate in modern Britain. Now, this is a very senior man. He's been an advisor to the MOD and the Muslim Council of Britain, and he is saying that the veil has no place in this country. Well, I want us to discuss his views from 9 this morning. This is a conversation that just won't go away, and I wonder why it won't go away. Is it because, ultimately, lots and lots and lots of people in this country, the majority of people in this country, have a problem with the veil? Is that why it just keeps coming up? Because more and more people are saying, you know what, let's stand up, let's make our views known on this. We don't like the veil. We don't like the veil in this country. From 9, I want your views. Do you believe that this guy's got it right? Do you think that, frankly, it doesn't serve any purpose in this country? Would you even go as far as to say, yes, women who want to wear the veil should perhaps consider moving to a country where it is the norm? If they feel strongly enough that they should be wearing it, perhaps elsewhere would be more appropriate. From 9, your views.
It's going to be feisty today.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Morning, this is Ian Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio. If you want to get in touch, 08459 455 555 is the telephone number. Keith's in Letchworth. Good morning, Keith.
Morning, Ian.
Keith, what can I do for you?
You mentioned about tribute bands.
Yeah, we had a guy from the I'm not even going to say their name, a Beatles tribute band. Okay. And I very generously invited him to come in, bring in the Beatles. Turns out the Beatles are too big for my Friday morning music slot, which I have to say, dear listeners, is hanging in the balance. If we get more big names like the Beatles turning us down, then the Friday morning music slot will go. It's a definite possibility that it may go. I'm feeling a little bit hurt by that, Keith.
I think so too. I think my tribute band I'm in will come and do it. No problem.
Whoa! Hang on a second. Before I jump on this and say yes, you could be a Black Lace tribute band. In which case, we're not having a Black Lace tribute band. Who do you tribute to?
Gary Newman.
Oh, hang on. Really?
Definitely.
Here we go. Hang on a second. Here we go. Sing along with Gary Newman, would you, Keith?
Oh, I'll try my best.
Okay. Do you play Gary Newman?
I'm Gary Newman, yeah.
Away you go. Okay, we go. This is Gary Newman and Gary Newman.
Quite a long intro.
Oh, how long is it?
It's coming up.
Is it coming up? All right, Gary Newman and Gary Newman live
in a minute
on BBC Three Counties Radio in your own time, Gary.
Okay. Oh my God, I will say the wall. I can rock, oh my God, and it's the only way in jobs.
Nah, you're all right, mate.
How's that?
Nah, we're busy then. No, I'm joking. We'd love you to come in. Keith, would you come in on a Friday morning?
Of course, yes.
Now, how do you do it? Do you have like a little Bon Tempi? How do you recreate the new wave visionary Gary Newman's music?
Well, we've got lots of... my wife's in the band and my father-in-law's in the band. We've got 2 keyboard players, sometimes 3 keyboard players. So
do you look like Gary Newman? Do you wear a wig like he does? Oh, didn't people know that?
I don't think he wears a wig anymore. I think it's sewn in, isn't it?
Oh, has he gone for the old weave?
I think so, yeah.
Would you... well, Keith, listen, we'd love to get you to come in one day if you'd be up for it.
Lovely. I'd love to, yeah.
Stay on the line, speak to Kelly Betts, she will book you in. That was great. We'll have a bit of that. If you're in a tribute band and you want to come in on a Friday, seriously, the Friday music thing it's in the balance. We've got a few more booked up and then we might let it go. So, if you want to save it, 08459 455 555. And we'll have to put some tribute. I like tribute bands. I'm a big fan of tribute bands. Road safety charities are calling for the return of TV adverts warning about the dangers of crossing the road. It comes after yet another accident on the A505 in Luton, a stretch of road where people constantly ignore pedestrian crossings and underpasses, preferring instead to run the gauntlet. Well, our reporter Justin Dealey was observing pedestrians on this road over the weekend. He saw a number of near misses as people ignored the traffic lights, and a bit like this lady.
Faye, you've just crossed this road. There's an underpass over there. There's traffic lights to our right-hand side. Why didn't you use them?
Because this is just... Well, they should have a crossing here, perhaps.
The opening's there for it.
There's a crossing there, though, literally 50 yards to our right-hand side.
But it's not where I need to get to. I need to get to there.
I'm sorry if I sound patronising here, but do you not think what you just did was extremely dangerous?
It was perhaps extremely dangerous. In hindsight, yes.
And you do that all the time, do you?
I am afraid I do. Yes, I do.
Well, Jan Alder is the director of the Safety Centre in Milton Keynes. Jan, what do you do at the Safety Centre?
Oh, good morning. Yeah, we teach road safety all the time. We use the Green Cross Code every day at the Safety Centre. I mean, we are teaching primarily children, primary school children, but we're telling them to do exactly what that lady didn't do, which was to find a safe place to cross the road.
Do we need the Green Cross Code Man and Alvin Stardust to make a return? I always found them a little bit patronising as a kid, but I crossed the road properly. It's worked.
Absolutely, and I think those sorts of messages need to be nationally delivered, really. I mean, we deliver them locally to sort of Milton Keynes and the surrounding counties, but certainly national advertising seems to work very, very well. But
and how are the children that you're teaching, how do they respond to the simple instructions of the Green Cross Code?
Well, we actually take them through, we do it practically, and we have traffic lights and zebra crossings inside our
Oh, see, that'll be
centre.
fun, yes.
So they do it on a practical basis, which is obviously much more memorable for them than reading something from a website or, you know, just downloading something. And yeah, they respond very well. It gives them the experience of actually doing it properly.
What's the situation like in Milton Keynes on the grid road system? Do people often use them in an unsafe way?
Well, I think that has been known. I mean, unfortunately, they have quite high speed limits on the grid roads. But there are underpasses, and there, as you said, you know, before, there are other places to cross them, but yes, unless people are educated early in life that you just don't do that, you find a safe place to cross. People sometimes take risks with their life, which is madness when you think, you know, a 10-minute or a few minutes walk down the road to a safer place could save their lives.
If people want to find out more about the Safety Centre in Milton Keynes, Jan, where do they go?
They have to go to our website. It's safetycentre.co.uk. Or they can just ring us up and ask to come and have a look if they wish.
Jan,
Yeah.
go on.
Shall I give my phone number?
Please do.
01908 263 009. But certainly the website is probably the easiest place to find out about
Jan,
us.
thank you very much indeed. A quick public service announcement, dear listener. I hope this is true. Otherwise, we'll be, you know, this could just be a naughty child that sent this in. And is it? Have we verified this information? Because it just be just a kid who wants to sack off school for the day.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
That fills me with dread.
The text.
Let's not read it out
What's
until
the text?
The Gilbert.
All right, I'm going to read it out,
Oh.
and then we're going to.
Are you sure it's from the right person?
It was sent from Jane Killick.
Oh, she
We'll
works
blame
with us.
Jane.
Well, we have no reason to suspect she wants to bunk off school for the day. Okay. Gilbert Inglefield School in Leighton Buzzard is
Humbledink.
closed today because it's got no heating. I say open it. Just make them wear an extra jumper and a scarf in class. Shocking behaviour. Well, anyway, it's closed. You can hear a mass collective sigh of young people as they go, yes, we can play on the Xbox One all day now. Thanks, guys.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Is anybody else going to be trying to get Monty Python tickets today? I'm going to be trying to get... They go on sale at 10:30. Shit, it's 10 o'clock, but don't tell anybody. And I'm desperately going to be trying to... It's one of those ones where... I'm nervous. I get nervous around things like this.
While you're on, when you get through,
Yeah.
can I have one? For Christmas.
Well, not buying
That's
you
all
one.
I want.
They're like £100.
Oh,
I'm
but you do appreciate my work, don't you?
Work? Do you work here as well?
Oh, my.
I'm not spending £100 on a Python ticket for you, I'm afraid. That's not happening at all.
All right, well, what if I put some to it?
Well, how much?
If I put a tenner?
God, for goodness sakes. Not happening at all. Very, very excited. Very excited about it. I get anxious. I get very anxious about things. I get anxious about buying tickets that are going to sell out. What?
20?
Go away. I also get anxious about going on aeroplanes because I'm always... My wife is always... Look, we've got a seat booked. Don't worry, it's fine. We'll get in there. My worry is we'll get to the seat and the overhead locker where you put your luggage, your hand luggage, will be full. And then you'll have to put it somewhere else. And that means when you want to get off the plane, you've got to go all the way to the back of the plane to get the stuff, so you're going to be last off.
And this is all before you get on the plane and see what the capacity is.
Oh, yeah, I hate it.
Oh, my goodness, what a nightmare.
I am a nightmare. 08459 455 555 is the telephone number. I had an email about crossings. Ian, what really annoys me is cyclists who use... Oh, this is awful. Who use pedestrian crossings to cross the road, or worse, to stop the traffic in order for them to join the road and be on their merry way down the road while you're sitting powerless waiting for the red light to change. Jay, you're right. That's very annoying. Helen says, on the How to Pass website, it states that the test examiner will expect the driver to stop if someone is waiting to cross at a zebra crossing. Turns out you don't have to, though, Helen. I was unaware of this rule. It's a courtesy to stop. Unless someone's got their foot on the zebra crossing, you don't have to. John from Datchworth. I'm of the opinion it is the law. You have to stop at zebra crossings. But I always thought it was when the pedestrian looks as if they're ready to step out. How do they look? They have to have their foot on the zebra crossing. Which I think is absolutely incredible. Incredible. Now... old-fashioned map or a sat-nav? Justin, we'll come to you in a second, because we've done this before. And I don't understand why anybody would use a map instead of a sat-nav. Yeah, with sat-navs, you can't follow them blindly. You have to take what they say with a pinch of salt and use your intelligence. But maps, really?
It seems very odd to me. Very, very odd. Of course, a sat-nav, as you say, you've got to use them with caution, but they are simple and they're effective. Why would you want to follow an old-fashioned map when you've got sat-nav? I don't get it.
Justin, stay there, because I want to speak to Naked Dillis in Newport Pagnell. Are you naked?
Not now, thanks.
When were you last naked?
At about just about 20 to 8 this morning.
Excellent stuff. Me too. Now, Naked Dillis, do you still use maps, or are you a sat-nav kind of guy?
I don't have a sat-nav.
Oh.
I don't. I'm elderly. I only drive round about Newport Pagnell nowadays.
Oh, so you don't even need a map then?
No, I don't need a map.
No.
My son, if I go any further than that, I'm usually with my son, and he does have a sat-nav, but he doesn't follow it blindly.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? You always see people going the wrong way up one-way streets or driving into lakes. Well, that's their fault. You use it as a suggestion, and you read the road signs around you as well, of course, don't you?
Well, that's the thing that you've just said.
Here's the thing I just said, yes.
Because, coming to what I rang you about.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Was my alarm radio comes on at 7 o'clock.
Oh, yes.
I usually lie for anything half an hour up to an hour, according to what I feel like.
Oh, wonderful.
Listening to you.
Excellent, thank you.
And so this morning, I thought, well, I've got to get up, I've got the washing to do and some rubbish to put out.
Busy day.
And so about 20 to 8,
yes.
I got up, went into the bathroom, switched the shower on, got in the shower, came out of the shower, and just as I came out of the shower, dripping wet...
What an image. Is this working for you, Justin?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
You don't want to see a vision. And the front doorbell rang.
Uh-oh.
So I hurriedly wrapped a towel around myself, ran into the bedroom, took up a wrap, put it on, put it round, opened the door, a delivery man.
Oh, hello.
Box. And he said, box for... I didn't catch what he said.
Yeah.
Said it then. Well, box for Paula. I said, Paula? Paula? He said, yes, numbers such and such, Manor Road. And being the way I was,
yes,
I didn't think quickly enough, and I just said, but this isn't Manor Road.
No.
This is Shipley Road.
Right. What? Where's this
Oh,
going?
I'm very sorry. And sort of off he went. And I thought afterwards I should have said, you were on your sat-nav.
Oh, yes, you see, you could have...
I didn't know.
No.
But I would bet you 99% to 1.
Yeah. Well, but being naked and wet as you were, it's difficult to think in that condition, isn't it, sometimes?
It is rather, when you're dripping wet.
Yeah. Well, no, Dillis, listen, I thank you so much, and all of the gentlemen and some of the ladies listening to this are thanking you for that magnificent image you've put in our minds.
Well, the other thing is that when you said about the road sign, but actually the name of Shipley Road is right by my gateway.
Ah, I see.
He'd walked past it.
What a muppet. What a muppet.
Absolutely.
Well, hopefully that person will get that parcel. Dillis, thank you so much for that wonderful story, Justin.
Oh, I got a bit tingly after that.
I know. Before we come to you, we need to calm down a bit. Hopefully Paul can bring us back to earth. Paul in Flitwick. Morning, Paul.
Hi there, how's it going?
Yeah, it's a little bit hot and steamy here. We're hoping you can pour some metaphorical cold water down our backs. What have you got for us, Paul?
Sat-navs?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, went to Cornwall for the first time this year. I do have a sat-nav, but I love the maps as well, so if I'm going anywhere new, I'll use Google Earth before I go to see what the roads are like around there.
Yeah.
And old Sally sat-nav, she was wanting to lead me astray and take me down this track that alone a car or a car with a caravan can get down, so I knew it was wrong. And carried on the right way. So you can't rely on old Sally.
Well, this is it. You can't rely on them. What voice do you have, Paul, talking to you?
I haven't got any choices, unfortunately, in the vehicle I've got at the moment. I used to go and choose stuff. John Cleese was quite funny, and Ozzy Osbourne was even ruder.
Oh, really? It was an Ozzy Osbourne. I have the voice turned off because they do get on my nerves. But this is the thing, Paul. You can't follow it blindly. You have to use a little bit of common sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Paul, thank you very much for that. Justin, I think that's brought us suitably back down to earth now, so we can talk about this. You've been speaking to people this morning, sat-navs versus maps. What have they been saying?
Well, much to my surprise, Ian, people still love a good old-fashioned map, incredibly, even with sat-navs about. There's a guy at the end of this piece who's a bit strange, but more to come on him very soon. I have been talking to motorists on the A5 in Hertfordshire about what they prefer. Here's what they had to say. Jim, you're a motorist. Do you prefer sat-navs or printed maps?
Printed maps. I just like paperwork. I don't like gadgets.
Right. Even though that gadget could help you?
No, I don't use them. I don't believe them. They don't work.
They don't work?
Well, they work for some people. They don't work for me.
Yeah, you don't trust them then?
No, that's right. Simple as that.
So if somebody bought you a sat-nav for Christmas, what would you do with it?
I'd give it away.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously, I'd give it away. I'm not interested.
Paper maps for me. Just used to them. Grew up with them. Drove around Europe with them, so...
Morning, sir. Filling up today. What do you prefer, sat-navs or printed maps?
So, sat-nav. Takes you straight to where you're going, saves time.
I've spoken to two people who say they don't trust sat-navs. Has your sat-nav taken you in the wrong direction?
Right. No, it comes with experience. You've got a basic idea where you're going, and you know if a sat-nav is going to take you the wrong way. You know, just through experience.
So how do you know, though? Explain that one to me. How do you know your sat-nav will take you in the wrong place?
Well, I've been driving for 40-odd years. You know, if you go down a road, the sat-nav telling you to go down there, and you think it's not quite right. And there probably hasn't been programmed into that sat-nav. But there again, the sat-nav is fairly right most of the time.
So sat-navs every time, but when you use them, you've got to use them with caution. That's when they work effectively.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you prefer then?
Sat-navs, because it tells me where I'm going, and I don't have to keep pulling over to read the map.
So your sat-nav has always got you there. It's never taken you in the wrong direction, ever?
No, never.
And what voice have you got on your sat-nav? Very personal question.
A lady's voice.
Does she annoy you?
No, not at all.
So it's never got to that point where you thought, you know what, if she was sitting in my car right now, I'll give her a good slap.
No, but my colleague does. She doesn't like it at all. It does annoy her.
No, I've got it all in here. I don't need it. You could drop me in a parachute in the middle of England and I'll know exactly where I am.
Oh, get out of here, come on.
I can indeed. I've been all over the country.
So if I said to you, I've got a job for you down Heath Road in Coventry, you could drive from here to Coventry and find it?
Yeah, near enough, yeah. What I do is I'll ask the postman.
Who's that fella at the end?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's all up here, so what I'll do when I get there, I'll ask a postman. So effectively, it's not there then.
We've just heard that postmen... Well, we know that postmen get things wrong.
Exactly. So he's going to be stuck this afternoon.
Now, I have been in the car, Justin, when you have relied on the sat-nav, and the thing is, you are one of those Muppets that does...
Excuse me?
That does follow it to the letter.
Yes.
To the point where it took us 25 minutes to do a 3-minute journey.
Yes, but... Did we get there? Yes, we did. If I had have used a map, it would have taken us even longer.
We could have walked there in 10 minutes.
Very true, but we still got there, and by the time we got to that school, it was very, very productive. We had a chat about what was happening on the show. Those extra 10 minutes, I felt, were very productive.
Let's be honest, we had a good old-fashioned bitch, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Dear that we just... Here's an interesting text, Justin. This isn't aimed at you, so you can breathe a sigh of relief. It's aimed at those other two that I work with, Kelly and Catherine.
Oh, their names, I didn't know them.
I'm thinking of asking them to wear name badges.
I would.
Let's ask them. Would you wear name badges?
No. Mine would say a swear word, not...
Okay, mate. Janet has texted in. Mr. Lee, good, respectful start. I like that. Do your two colleagues, Catherine and Kelly, actually get paid for their total lack of professionalism?
I think they do, don't they?
Sadly, I think... Do you two get paid?
Not very much.
No, not really.
Okay, you do get paid, and you get paid by people like Janet, by people like Justin, by people like me, people like my mum.
Morning,
That's
Janet.
the state
Morning,
of the
Janet.
BBC,
Don't
isn't it?
work like that. Don't work like that. For goodness sakes, Justin, thank you very much indeed. I mean, it is shocking. It should be. Here's an interesting thing. It's your BBC, according to Tony Hall. I think... it should be, your pay should be related to your success. Now, I am very successful in terms of driving listening figures up, of really kicking this show into gear from where it was 13, 14 months ago. Oh, dear, well, it's completely different. So I should probably get more money than I'm getting. Catherine, I mean, Kelly has spent literally the last 5 minutes untangling her phone headset. But
that's necessary.
But what she doesn't realise is she's making it worse. She's untangling it the wrong way.
No, I'm not. I'm getting it done. Oh. Ta-da.
She's saving her next colleague who's coming in a job. So.
Well, she shouldn't have tangled it up in
Didn't. My previous one did.
She's taking responsibility.
Don't blame it on Chetan Partak. That's what it's all about. Right, Joyce is in Dunstable. Morning, Joyce.
Good morning.
Crossing the road.
Yes. In Dunstable, they've done all the new roadworks around the Asda and the college and everywhere, but no proper crossings.
Oh, really?
They've done the roadworks in Leighton Buzzard. They've got the crossings. They've done them in Houghton Regis. They've got crossings, but we've got no Belisha crossings at all.
Have they got any crossings?
They've got red tiles and then a grey tile, and people are walking across that. And the motorists are moaning because it's not a proper crossing.
Right.
So there's arguments when people don't stop.
Yeah, I don't think you don't have to stop for those, do you?
No, but if people are crossing, what are you going to do? Run them down? There's going to be an accident before long.
So there are no traffic lights, there's no zebra crossing, there's no pelican crossing, there's none of that?
Nothing at all. Just these red and grey tiles across the roads by the college, by the Grove area, by Sainsbury's. It's absolutely disgusting. The new road signs are terrible because people don't know. My son-in-law went down in the dark and he's up the bus lane because he didn't know the setup.
Oh.
I tell you
what we'll do, Joyce. We'll send Justin or one of our team over there at some point in the near future to have a little look and speak to some people there, and we'll see what we can do.
You talk to people and it's really, really bad.
Joyce, thank you for that. Well, can we get Justin or someone decent out there to have a little look and speak to people and find out. That's how this station works, by the way. We come up with stuff. We come up with some cracking stuff. Got some rubbish sometimes, but we tend to come up with some cracking stuff. But you can also let us know about things and problems and bits and pieces, and we'll go and have a little look. So thank you very much for that. We will send someone to have a look at that. 08459 455 555. What do those bits they're raised crossings, aren't they? I've seen them. You don't have to stop for those. Although since discovering you don't actually have to stop at a zebra crossing, my whole understanding of the highway code and road safety has gone completely out of the window. 08459 455 555 is the telephone number. Just type a name on the screen, Kelly. That's all you need to do. And Pat, lovely Pat.
Hello, Ian.
Pat in Houghton Regis. What can you do for us, please?
Well, the rules of the road is it doesn't have to be a zebra crossing. If you put your foot on the road as a pedestrian, you claim the right of way.
No.
It is. It's under the highway code.
Where?
Well, I'm a driving instructor and I teach it.
Oh, OK. Suddenly your argument is a little bit stronger than it was previously, but still.
Thank you.
Really? That means any muppet can just walk into the road and we have to stop for them?
Yeah, and they do as well, walk into the road.
Tell me about it.
Approaching.
I've seen them.
And on zebra crossings, the people in their cars must wait till the pedestrians cross the whole width of the crossing.
Oh. Well, no one does that, do they? Particularly if it's someone who's particularly slow. Once they've gone past us, we like to streak ahead, don't we?
You do, but then you encourage other drivers to put their foot down as well, and there could be someone on the crossing still.
Oh, OK.
All right.
Thank you very much for that. So there we go. You say, so hang on, as soon as someone puts their foot on the road, you have to stop for them? Really? I'm not sure I totally buy into that, but that gentleman is a driving instructor. Who's going to know best, me or him? On this occasion, I may I may accept it might be him, but I just don't know. Ah, dearie me. Right. Right. Teresa's in Luton. Good morning, Teresa.
Hello, Ian.
Sat-navs.
Yes, sat-navs are okay sometimes, but they can be a bit silly.
Go on.
Because suddenly you're driving along and it will say, turn right at the roundabout. And there isn't a roundabout. Because it's a completely new road, the sat-nav hasn't got anything about it, so they've completely mucked up the sat-nav, and you don't know whereabouts you're going. But the other thing was, a few weeks ago, we were coming back from Lincolnshire, and because we know the route that we normally take, we normally take onto the A1.
Yeah.
We decided to follow the sat-nav because we'd come from a slightly different part of Lincolnshire.
Yes.
The sat-nav took us through the tiny little roads, little lanes, all the B roads, all around that thing. I thought, whatever's the sat-nav doing? It's taken us completely cross-country things where we know there was A roads, you know what I mean? And it was really frightening.
I had that this weekend, Teresa. I was driving to Birmingham at a ridiculous time in the morning, and the M40 was shut. And so I put into the sat-nav, avoid this bit of the M40. And it took me through some of the tiniest little villages, the narrowest little roads possible, and there must have been an easier way to get there.
Of course there should be. It's ridiculous that, for some reason it just goes stupid sometimes. And one time, we put a sat-nav on. We were at, I think we were in Bristol, and we wanted to go to Stow-on-the-Wold.
Yeah.
And we put Stow-on-the-Wold on the sat-nav, and it took her to the middle of Gloucester, into a little residential road in the middle of Gloucester, and said, you're here.
Oh, really? Well, that's bonkers.
I know.
Well, you got to see a nice little residential road in Gloucester, though, so that's not completely bad. Teresa, thank you very much indeed. On the subject of crossing, Marlene's in Dunstable. Morning, Marlene.
Oh, morning.
It's a very road-themed show today, but I can deal with that.
Yes. The lady that rang up about the road by Asda and that, when that was first opened, the council called it a shared highway.
What does that mean?
It's shared between pedestrians and people.
Well, guess who's going to win out of that deal?
Well, exactly. An accident waiting to happen. And also in the local rag this week, some guy had come from Newmarket and his sat-nav took him on the guided busway.
Oh.
Blew 3 tyres, damaged 3 wheels. He had to be towed off by the RAC.
Blimey, really?
Yes, in the Herald and Post that was.
That's fantastic, Marlene. Thank you very much. Have you noticed, just going back to this road in Dunstable where they've done all the work, do you consider it to be particularly dangerous then?
It's dreadful. It's just an accident waiting to happen.
Oh dear.
As I say, the council called it a shared highway, to be shared between pedestrians and cars.
What a made-up, nonsensical phrase.
Yes, honestly, that's truth.
Right. Marlene, I appreciate that, thank you. We're going to have to send someone down there, I think. Colin's in Dunstable. Colin, you want to talk about where the roadworks have been as well, do you?
Yeah, it's absolutely horrendous.
Tell me why.
Right, number one, they haven't built the road properly on the corner of Queensway and What's It Drive.
What's It Drive? Yes, I know.
And it floods to over a metre into the road.
Oh dear.
And it's right by one of these shared crossings.
Now this is that raised red brick crossing,
what
is it?
It's a raised grey brick with red bricks either side of it.
Right, and that's the shared part of the highway, is it?
Which really is, at night you can't see it.
No.
And I've nearly been knocked over twice with people coming round the corner too fast because it is a 20-mile-an-hour limit.
Yeah.
But even that's too fast, really. And people not stopping when you're on the crossing.
Right, this crossing, is it illuminated? Does it have its own lights?
No.
Okay, right. And do we know the legal requirement? Are cars legally required to stop there?
No, I can't find out anything about it.
Okay, right. Colin, listen, I'm going to give you a job. There's no money in it, but I'm going to give you a job. Can I make you the ambassador for Dunstable?
You can.
Would that be okay?
I will happily meet Justin.
There we go, you see.
and because there's two within a couple of 100 yards.
Now, you don't have to take Justin to the Dunstable embassy, but if you would act as ambassador and guide Justin around and point out the dangerous bits...
I will do.
Colin, you're a good lad. Thank you very much indeed. This is what we need to do. Stay on the line, Colin, we'll get you details. This is exactly what we need to do. We need to get ambassadors for all the different towns. Right, we'll do this. We'll pursue this. Ambassadors for all the different towns and villages. Oh, apparently we're finding... We'll look into this story. I'm hearing there might be a petition as well to get some kind of road safety measures put in. Colin, we'll send Justin down. You will be the ambassador. We'll try and do it for tomorrow. It may be later in the week, but we will definitely look at it, and we'll see if we can get someone on from the local council to tell us what's going on. It's very odd to get 3 phone calls, bang, 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 like that, telling us the same thing. That means there is definitely an issue there. Thank you. If you've got an issue that you want us to look at, then do drop me a line. Ian.lee, IAIN.LEE at bbc.co.uk. You see how it works? All that came from a random phone call saying that there's a road in Dunstable where it's not very safe. 2 more phone calls, boom. We're sending out one of our top 10 reporters, Justin Dealey, to investigate it. And I've appointed Colin as ambassador for Dunstable. Ian.lee at bbc.co.uk. I do like this idea of having ambassadors for all the towns, the villages in the 3 counties. Oh. And then we'll get a king or a queen for each county. Oh, this is going to be good. Right. Leave it to me. We'll start this tomorrow. We're giving away beds, hearts and bucks from tomorrow. JVS up next. Ta-ta.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC 3 Counties Radio.
Thank you, Ian.